So the situation in California right now and in Oregon is desperate, man. It's not looking good at all. The wildfires, which started in California and are now burning in Oregon, are just ravaging the West Coast, man. And it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Last I heard, the fires are about 9% contained. That means that 91% of the fires are just being allowed to rage and burn. 28 people are already dead from this, by the way. 28 people have died from this fire. And here's the kicker. We're early in the fire season. The fire season usually doesn't, heat up until October. Heat up. No pun intended. Usually doesn't heat up till October. In 2011, I believe 300,000 acres had burned. This year already, according to the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, I don't know if I'm saying that word right. According to them, over nearly 2.2 million acres have already burned. And this was as of 2 days ago. They said, California, this section focuses on significant fires currently burning throughout California. There have been 7,563 fire incidents in California in 2020, with the total land burned 2,178,015 acres. There have been 4,265 structures damaged or destroyed and 8 fatalities as of September 9th. Now, that was up September 9th. Yesterday, I seen that there were 28 fatalities, so they updated that number. Guys, I'm going to put these pictures up on the screen here. Look at this. This is the sky in Oregon. This is the sky in California. In San Francisco. Look. It's orange. It's orange. I seen a video where a woman's filming. She said, yeah, the sky's orange. This is the downtown. It was a small city in Oregon. This is our downtown. And there's about 5 people outside. Most people aren't outside. I'm like, this is... And this comes amid the Trump administration has rolled back or attempted to roll back over 100 regulations on fossil fuel based companies. Guys, our priorities are out of whack. I will say it. Our priorities are terribly out of whack. The fact that something like this happens and some people say, it was started by campers or someone threw it. Look, I don't care what started it. The fact is there are more and more of these fires because we continue to use a high amount of fossil fuels, which causes the environment to warm. And when you have the environment warming, it's a recipe for disaster. Because of the hotter climate, a lot of the bugs that kill the pine needle trees, which are some of the trees that usually start these fires, like the bugs, they'll eat away at the tree and they'll kill it, right? So if you kill it and it dies, there's not much to burn, right? A lot of these flies are dying off. So because these bugs are dying off, the pine needle trees are being allowed to stay alive, right? Which is causing more and more of these fires, man. It's not just pine needle trees. It's a combination of things. Lightning strikes start fires. Like, there's not really much we can do about things like that. But there is something we can do about our environment. Look, the World Health Organization, the United Nations, they all agree we have 10 years to get the climate fixed, right? We have 10 years. And what's so enraging about this is our politicians don't care. Joe Biden, I said this before in one of my other videos, and the DNC quietly took some of their climate initiatives off of their platform. I'm like, you should be adding to your climate initiatives, not removing climate initiatives. But again, this goes back to what I say. America is going too far to the right. You essentially have the Republican Party and then the Diet Republican Party. The Diet Republican Party is like, and look, I guarantee you, if Biden loses, they're going to say, oh, we didn't go far enough right. We pandered to the left too much. No, you're going too far right. But, I digress. Let's get back to the man who's actually in office right now, Donald Trump. Over 100 regulations that this man has attempted to roll back. 100. This is the same guy who said global warming is a Chinese hoax. Guys, they're killing the planet. They're literally killing the planet. They're killing the planet for profit. Like, how stupid is that? Like, would you destroy your house? Like, somebody says, hey, I'll give you $5 if you put an axe in your wall. Every time you put an axe in your wall. And it's like, okay, I keep putting an axe in my wall. I will keep getting $5, $10. I got 100,000. Next thing you know, oh shit, I just chopped my whole house down. Now where am I going to live? Hey, there's an abandoned house down the street. Maybe we can live there. Imagine doing that with the entire planet. Because this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And the thing is, people think, oh, climate change, it'll just get a little hotter, right? We don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. Climate change could spark an ice age. Because what climate change does is it throws the natural flow of nature out of whack, right? So yes, some places might get hotter. Some places might experience extreme cold. We don't know. Some places might experience flooding. Some people might have a drought. We don't know what the full implications of this are, but we know they're not good. Now, what can you guys do about this? Get on your telephones, call your local senators, call your House of Representative members. Look, I don't care. Call your mayor, your city council, call whoever and tell them, hey, even if they're not in Congress, hey, we want the Green New Deal. And look, the reason why I'm saying, even though I know the mayors and the governor of your state and those people don't necessarily have the power to actually act on the legislation, that's the Senate and the House. But look, we need to put pressure on every level of government for this. Every single level. Because if we put pressure on the small government, they're going to go to the bigger government and say, hey, we're getting this pressure. Who's going to be forced to go to Congress and say, hey, we got this problem? Keep applying the pressure. Your local representatives, your federal ones, your mayor, your goddamn city council member. Look, I don't give a fuck who you call, but just don't stop calling. Because guys, this is the future. If we don't stop using so many of these resources that we do not need to use, if we don't have clean, sustainable energy, this is the future of our planet. There are less than 150 companies that are accounting for over 90% of all the world's carbon emissions. 150 companies accounting for 90%, over 90% of the world's carbon emissions. We have to regulate these companies now. We cannot wait until the next president is in office. We cannot wait another 5-10 years. We don't have another 5 and 10 years. This is our moment right now to fix the damage that we have done with climate change. And if we don't fix it, man, it ain't looking good for the future. It ain't looking good for the future. Nancy Pelosi always says, oh, we want to secure the future of our children. It ain't looking too good for the future of the children, Nancy. You're saying, like, you've been the leader of the House for how long now? Why haven't you pushed more climate initiatives? Why haven't you? You know, Ed Markey, Bernie Sanders, AOC, they've all been pushing for the New Deal, right? When are people going to wake up? Like, when is the Democratic Party going to say, okay, fine, like, we don't want our plans to die? Like, come on. Like, you guys are terrible. And don't even get me started on Republicans. Like, hey, I'm Mitch McConnell. You do realize that regardless to whether you believe in climate change or not, you have to live on this planet. Your kids have to live on this planet. Just like everybody else, right? I'm just asking. So, yeah, man. If we don't do something about this, man, who the hell knows what type of devastation we could be seeing in the world over the next 15 to 20 years, man. Over the next 10 years. Who knows? Now, the good news is this still can be reversed. We still have time. Remember what happened with the ozone layer? They cut a huge hole in the ozone. Now the ozone layer is fixing itself, you know? Still not all the way there, but it's nearly getting there, you know, because we stopped those practices. Well, now we need to take it a step further. We need to stop carbon emissions. We need to reduce carbon emissions. We need to stop relying on natural gas and natural resources altogether by 2030. And people say, oh, that's extreme. That's it. Look, desperate times calls for desperate measures. We need to put an immediate stop to using these things and turn to renewable sources of energy. Today, right now. We can't wait. Call your federal and local legislators. Tell them we can't wait.